Happy Hanukkah and welcome to this week's Dvar Torah. In this week's Torah we read about how the brothers make their way down to Egypt to meet the viceroy of Egypt and to try to buy food from Egypt. The viceroy is very mean to them. He takes away their brother, he ties him up and he puts him in jail. He tells them they may not return unless they bring their other younger brother, Benjamin, with them. And they come back down and it says the brothers did not recognize Yosef, but Yosef recognized them. And the question that many ask is, why did they not recognize Yosef? Why didn't they see who he was? Yosef looked a lot like his father Yaakov. And so that when they were looking at Yosef, they should have seen the resemblance to Yaakov. It should have meant something to them. They should have been able to figure out, hey, one second, this guy looks a lot like our brother. Maybe he is our brother. And yet they don't realize. Why is it that they don't realize? And I heard a very interesting answer recently that says we only realize things that we want to realize. We only understand things that we want to understand. If we have a mental block, if we've made a decision that we don't want to see something specific, then we will not see that. We will not realize that that's what happened. And so here too, we have the same story and we have the same case. The brothers heard from Yosef about his dreams and how Yosef said, one day I will be the king and you will bow down to me. And the brother said, that will never happen. And even when it happens, and even when the fact is staring them blankly in the face, they're not willing to concede. They're not willing to turn away and to say, you know what? Maybe Yosef was right. Maybe he knew what he was talking about. Maybe it's time for us to reconsider. They didn't want it to be true, and because they didn't want it to be true, even when it's staring them directly in the face, they still do not realize what is true and what is not. And that is a big message and lesson we have to take for ourselves. Very often, we've made up our mind about something. We've decided about a certain outcome, and that's the way it has to be, and that's the way we want it to be. And if it doesn't end up being that way, we end up being upset. So in our mind, we condition ourselves and we say, it's going to happen the way I want it to happen. It has to be this way. And when it doesn't come out the way we want it to come out, we convince ourselves that it's still correct. We've still done the right thing. It's not the way we thought it's going to be. And this week's Sedra teaches us the opposite. You have to keep an open mind. Otherwise, when the facts are staring you straight in the face, you'll just look right past them and ignore them. Live life with an open mind, with an open view to truth and what's really going on. And you'll see, your eyes will open and you'll see so much more. Have a very happy Hanukkah and a lovely Shabbos.